Hey friend, welcome to my channel karinealourde. I'm karinealourde. Please be sure to like, subscribe. Please be sure to turn on your notification bell so you can always know when I post a new upload. Now let's get into this video. So today we are talking about the iconic Monica Bellucci. I fell in love with her from the movie Milena. It was literally one of my favorite movies.
Ma come si chiama?
Male, il più gran pezzo di sticcio di Castelcutò.
So she was ranked as the most desirable lady in 2002 by X-Men, and she is viewed as an Italian icon. I mean, just look at her. In addition to her stunning physical looks, I believe the majority of people also love her because of her classy personality. Mystery. Seriously. Watch some of her interviews. She's always striking the right balance of eloquence and poise. Me personally, I look for her interviews in Italian, although I do not speak Italian, simply because it's such a beautiful thing to see one of the most beautiful women in the world speak such a lovely language. I love her old Italian interviews. Monica is always willingly posing for photos and signing signatures and autographs for her fans, showing her kindness towards her followers. She's just a very charming woman. My favorite quote from her is, "Beauty is a problem if you're stupid, but not if you know how to use it. I know many beautiful people, but their lives are just terrible because they don't know that being comfortable is not about what you look like, but how you feel." I love this quote. Monica always talks about how she loves to eat. She's also been known to say that she doesn't hate her body enough to fight with it, so she don't really do diets. She loves pasta. That is her favorite food. She also loves chocolate and cakes, but she understands that she has to eat those things in moderation and don't condone overeating. Black is her favorite color, and she loves to wear a simple little black dress. And just like me, every time she gained weight, she's like, hey, I just wear black. I love that. Monica Bellucci is not one of those plastic beauties either. Her beauty is natural. She is totally against all sorts of plastic surgery, and you can see with progression, she just never touched her face or her body. She is one of the only stars I've seen that truly has aged gracefully and has not touched her face or body at all. Confident in her age, and she's not chasing youth. She always talks about embracing your age.
Monica Bellucci is unfazed at the prospect of appearing in mature acting roles.
I think that in Europe, we don't have so much pressure about youth as in USA.
Unlike many big Hollywood stars, she takes the aging process all within her stride.
As a woman also, I have a daughter. She's growing up, and she's the future. I'm already the past, and I'm okay with that. I feel much more strong and complete today than when I was 20.
But, of course, she maintains a figure with a little exercise. To maintain her figure, she does swim a lot, and she does yoga daily. Now let's get into her childhood. Bellucci was born on September 30th, 1964 in Città di Castello. And if I'm mispronouncing it, sorry, just kindly correct me in the comments, okay? She was born in Città di Castello, Umbria, the only child of Brunella Briganti and Pasquale Bellucci. Her mom became an artist while her dad was a farmer, and despite their lack of wealth, they had a happy little family, okay? But for a very long time, her parents were unable to have any children. Her mom was plagued with infertility, but doctors did encourage her to pray for a miracle. Because of this, her parents considered her own birth, Monica's birth, to be nothing less than an act of God, and she was their only child, and God gave them a beautiful daughter. Her father enjoys talking about his daughter and remembering the early years of her life. He claims that Monica was so stunning that the restaurant chef once turned down payment from them because of how beautiful she was. The young woman was admired by her teachers, one of whom even drew a portrait of her. But she has described beauty as a curse and an obstacle Fashion and beauty are the worst things to make it with this career, she said, because I'm pretty, everybody thinks I'm stupid. But it is like a mask, and you have to break the mask to show that there is something else behind it, end quote. So she always said she had to work twice as hard just to be taken seriously because of her beauty throughout her whole life. And I do think that plays a role into her air of mystique, like not speaking too much and, you know, her roles also. She was asked in an interview, I can't recall which interview I was watching or reading about, where she was asked if some of the roles she took, like in the movie Irreversible, they would ask her if some of the roles she take is because she takes these extreme roles because she wants to be taken a little bit more seriously. And she said, yeah, that may play a role in it because she just really don't want people to label her as like, you know, just simply this beauty queen.
I like the dark sides of humanity. Through my work, I have the chance to discover our dark side.
And we talk about this often that happened. And I know you guys are like, oh, woe is me, the beautiful woman. But you just don't know what things they could be, you know, susceptible to, or how annoying it can be for some of these people where it is genuinely a problem. So we shouldn't just judge and make it seem like a woe is me thing. Monica Bellucci prefers when she was a child to just spend time with her parents, and she didn't really like to play outside with other kids. The future celebrity preferred to read books instead and study, and she was quite of a nerd. And she was prepared to enroll in law school and originally wanted to be a lawyer. Did you guys know that? So Monica Bellucci was a diligent student because she understood that was the only way to make up for the lack of money. So she aspired to be a lawyer. And did you guys also know, fun fact, that she is fluent in Spanish, French, and English, as well as Italian, of course.
I worked, of course, even on languages because like that I had the chance to work in different countries because it's very difficult to become international through Italian movies. It's not so easy anymore, you know, to have this kind of possibilities. So you have to speak English, you have to speak French if you want to have the chance to go out of Italy.
Yeah, so she's a smart cookie. And the documentary movie, The Big Question, about the film The Passion of the Christ, because she did play in that as Mary Magdalene, Bellucci stated, I am an agnostic. Even though I respect and am interested in all religions, if there's something I believe in, it's a mysterious energy. The one that fills the oceans during tides, the one that unites nature and beings. So she's not really Christian. So I wonder how she played that role in Passion of Christ if she's not, you know. How do you guys feel about that? You know, I know Christianity seems to be the only religion where people can do this because I couldn't see someone who's not of the Muslim faith playing a Muslim in a role and for Muslims to be okay with it. So I don't know. That's my one critique for Bellucci. But comment below, what do you guys think? I wanted to go a little bit deeper into the topic of a figure like Monica Bellucci playing, you know, Mary Magdalene. According to Bellucci, she has moved away from her religious roots, saying, I come from a Catholic religion, but I'm not Catholic. She refers to herself as an agnostic, as per Wiki. This disappointed many Christians, especially Catholics, because she played the Virgin Mary. She was also Mary Magdalene in The Passion of the Christ, and many felt that someone who played such overtly, you know, sensual roles, now playing Mary, seemed like mockery to the faith. Her film Irreversible was considered as grotesque, even by industry standards, and yet she casually just stepped into the role of Mary right after.
Monica and Vincent starred together in the controversial 2002 French film Irreversible. The role was her most challenging to date, due to the now infamous, graphic and extended violence.
The film was very violent. He created such a polemic situation, was disturbing. When I did the he wasn't there, and actually was easier that way. And it's true that the film is very violent. The first 20 minutes are really violent, and then the film becomes very poetic, very beautiful.
When Irreversible premiered at Cannes in 2002, the audience was shocked at the violent subject matter, with some viewers protesting with their feet and walking out.
So we didn't realize that could become so international. So the film went to Cannes, and through Cannes, you know, was a mix of scandal, curiosity, people hated, people loved it. I'm very happy that I had the chance to do this movie. I like the dark sides of humanity. Through my work, I have the chance to discover our dark side.
Monica was also told that she would not work again after this movie. However, this was far from the case. In 2004, Monica starred in another controversial film, playing Mary Magdalene in Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ.
I remember that Mel Gibson was in Italy, he was preparing the movie, and I really wanted to meet him. I had no idea that the film could become so controversial, and I want to play Mary Magdalene. So we met, I did the movie, and I think that Mel Gibson as director is a really, really talented director. You know, maybe, I don't know why, I'm always in those kind of movies, very violent and controversial.
Monica explores her dark side again in Alain Corneau's Le Deuxième Souffle.
Concept of femme fatale, it means dangerous. Even though a woman is dangerous and unpredictable, it becomes irresistible.
She also had IVF and became really angry at the church for not being pro-IVF, I guess the Catholic Church. Bellucci was raised a Catholic like the vast majority of Italians. So you can imagine Italians expect most of their stars to be Catholic because this is a very heavily religious country in that terms. But as we stated, she is now an agnostic with some pantheistic leanings. So pantheism is the belief that God and the universe are the same things rather than separate things. So, you know, those people that are like the universe this, the universe that, they're pantheists. So they believe that the universe, which is all gods, all beings, not just one God, is what makes things happen. In other words, God is all and all is God. The term pantheism was developed in the 18th century from the Greek roots pan, meaning all, and theos, meaning God. So basically, it tolerates all gods and believes all gods are God, and they don't believe in there being one God. So pantheists, you know, people that believe the universe is all, don't believe in one God. They believe in all gods and tolerate all gods, and all gods work together in a cohesive way, you'd say. With that kind of background knowledge, do you understand why the heavily Catholic Italian community was not pleased with her playing Mary? Because Christians are monotheistic and believe in one God, and pantheists do not believe in a personal God who hears prayers or communicates with individuals. They don't believe in a personal, intimate God, like you can just pray to a God. God does not dwell with man or, you know, love men enough to hear your prayers. They believe that death is a permanent end for the individual, but she played the mother of Jesus who promises life after death, and played the role of Jesus who says, I want to live inside of you. I want to dwell with you. I knock at the door, and if you answer, I will come in and dwell with you. And me and the Father will make your body our home. She played the role of the mother, where the beliefs is that, you know, in monotheism, God is a personal God who wants and desires to dwell with men and hear our prayers. The question is, how okay are you with actors playing religious figures, though they don't share the faith? I want you guys to discuss in the comments, respectfully, of course. Is it just acting and everyone needs to calm down? Because I saw in a lot of articles and, you know, like Twitter and stuff like that, when people are giving commentary, I usually like to look at Twitter stuff too with these stars, just go really deep. And a lot of people are just saying it's just acting, people that were defending this situation, and we shouldn't take it too personal. But then someone raised a great point that I saw, and I was like, that's a great point. I want to ask my audience this question to see what they think about this point. The point was, would there be outrage if she played the role of one of Prophet Muhammad's wives, Aisha or Khadijah? It's the typical argument that it's all okay as long as it's Christian, but all other religions must be revered. So you know they wouldn't tolerate her playing the wives like Aisha or Khadijah or the mothers of any of the Muslim prophets, etc., right? So why is it she could play Mary? That was a really great question, and it sparked great debate. So I'm curious to see, because I know you guys are pretty open-minded. So I'm curious to see, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Now, aside from that, she also faced backlash because of the type of films that she played before and after playing the role of Mary. And people were watching her very closely, you know. She has starred in several movies featuring occult or supernatural subject matter, which may be the source of this association.
I want to love what you love.
Monica in 1992 caught the eye of American heavyweight director with would star alongside Nicolas Cage on Jerry Bruckheimer's summer blockbuster, The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
I had lost the one woman I have ever loved, trapped in a prison called the Grimhold by Horvath.
I play Veronica, and there is a moment in the film where Veronica is possessed by the evil sorceress Morgana. So I had the chance to play a double personality.
It's clear Monica casts a little magic whenever she appears, whether mesmerizing us with the portrayal of a nun, a prostitute, or a seductive sorceress.
So some movie she played was Bram Stoker's Dracula. Bellucci played one of the brides of Dracula in his horror film, Brothers of the Wolf. She portrayed Sylvia, a mysterious courtesan with links to a secret quasi-religious society. And Necrotronic, she starred in this sci-fi horror film about demons who steal human souls. And recently she's playing a witch in a film.
I was really happy when he told me there is a key role in this movie for which I thought about you. For me, it was amazing to give life to Dolores, because Dolores, for me, she's not a monster, she's a creature, and she has this duality because she's dangerous but also touching some way, because she's dead but full of life. There is this moment where she puts herself together, and this was like an horror dancing scene, and it took 2-3 days to film it, and I tried to act like a mime, like a broken doll. And I have to say that was funny, but also interesting, because it was a new way to express, because actually, you know, I mean, we are actors and our body is our instrument some way.
So she never had issues dabbling with the occult. But another thing that she liked to say, she loves acting because it allows her to tap into the dark side of humanity. She is attracted to the dark side of things and dark arts, etc. And acting gives her that freedom to explore. She reminds me a lot of Aaliyah, because that was one of the quotes Aaliyah has stated as well when she was playing Queen of the Damned. Acting is kind of something you already want to explore, but it gives you the freedom to go deeper into it, because Monica Bellucci is one of those actors that really like to study the characters in the craft that she is doing to really get the background information. So she'll get the books and, you know, even the method acting if she has to, etc. She really goes really deep into it. She loves to explore the darker arts. But one of the reasons that she also said she wanted to explore the darker films is because she wants people to take her a little bit more seriously too, because of her beauty. She don't want to play like the damsel in distress and the love interest or the hot woman. She wanted to get out of that and wanted to have kind of like, you know, Angelina Jolie type of persona, where you could play someone who is really an action hero, or you could play a femme fatale, someone dangerous, or deeper content, or mental thrillers, psychological thrillers, because she didn't want to be pigeonholed into the hot woman who's always just there to look pretty against the screen. There are a few scandals she's gone through. Monica Bellucci has faced scandals related to her bold personal statements, such as her views on marriage and fidelity with her ex-husband, Vincent Cassel, and her controversial roles in films like Milena and Irreversible. She also encountered controversy over allegations of French tax evasion involving undisclosed assets in an offshore company in 2018. So her views on marriage and fidelity: during her marriage to Vincent Cassel, Bellucci famously stated, "I never make promises I couldn't keep regarding monogamy." This statement caused a stir as the press and public interpreted it as a challenge to traditional marital norms and a potential sign of an open relationship. And she basically insinuated that it's very difficult. I mean, someone who's as beautiful as her, who's in Hollywood, and men just fall at her feet, she can't promise to be faithful to her husband. So that's just something, if you want to be her husband, you're going to have to deal with that. She just can't promise to be faithful. Comment below what y'all think about that. I saw someone on Twitter say, "I love women in men fields." You guys are hilarious. But yeah, it's something she said she never promised. And of course, like I said, Italian culture is very conservative, believe it or not. It's a very religious country. So they weren't cool with that. They felt like she was popularizing or influencing young women or women to, you know, not honor the sanctity of marriage and to basically be promiscuous, because if you're going to be unfaithful in your marriage, it implies you're going to be sleeping with other people, right? So, yeah.
You have to understand the Sicilian mentality at that time. Women's place in society was only as a mother or as a wife. So, I mean, women only existed through men.
Tax evasion. With the tax evasion allegations in 2018, Bellucci was reportedly accused by French tax authorities of not declaring 2 bank accounts and a house in France, as well as owning a ghost company in the Virgin Islands to avoid taxes. Now, let's talk about her influence on culture, okay? Because she's not just influential in Italian culture, she's also influential in French culture and here in the Americas. She's multinational, like she's a national star. Multinational star. So she's global. She's a global star. She's known everywhere. Even if you've never seen one of her films, you've seen her face. You've seen her edits, whether on TikTok or her photos on Pinterest. You have seen her face. You have heard her name. She is a global star and has a lot of influence. Bellucci is widely regarded as the most beautiful woman in the world and has been cited as a sex symbol in 2001. So her influence lies in beauty.
So I come from a very provincial life some way. My parents were very generous, very attentive. At the same time, they gave me so much freedom. My parents often took me to cinema. I started out as a model because it was the easiest way to escape from my provincial life. Through pictures, I had the chance to get into movie business.
She made being dark-haired very popular at a time where people were still, falling over for the blonde. Like after the Marilyn Monroe era, the blonde. She brought back like that vampy, dark, sensual type of beauty, was helping glamorize that and popularize that because she was seen as the most beautiful woman in the world during her heydays. When she was coming out, it was the dark-haired beauty was coming back. The vampy, the very sensual woman was coming back. So that was the influence with that. Her influence also extends to the challenging beauty and age norms in the entertainment industry as well, which helps to empower women by redefining their roles and inspiring new generations of actresses, models, and filmmakers. She also serves as a cultural bridge between European and global cinema, having worked in Italian, French, and English language films and collaborated with acclaimed directors worldwide. She has spoken on topics such as women's roles in cinema and aging, offering a powerful example of how women can redefine their place in the entertainment industry. So she is a feminist icon in Italy as well. Her influence also helped to allow more creative room in Italian cinema for films to kind of test the line, okay? Because she created so much outrage, even in France. I mean, Italian cinema was already pretty provocative during its days, and French cinema as well. They weren't as restrictive as in the United States. Italian cinema, I mean, Malena was, very, very provocative and stuff. But so her films help test the boundaries even more of what is acceptable. Like a film like Irreversible, which is just extremely graphic and erotic, with violent scenes of intimacy that is intense, okay? It kind of, people's criticism was you could have did the film without showing that it was traumatizing for people to see, grotesque in a sense. There's scenes you did not have to see. The purpose, it felt like, of including certain scenes in her films was just to be provocative and to get people to talk. And it's not her per se, because it's directors, it's writers, and because she is beautiful, directors often wanted to objectify her and show her physique off, her body off, right? And they'd include scenes just to get the chance to. And she did say in an interview that she doesn't mind being objectified in acting. So take that as you will, but a lot of directors would objectify her. But a lot of people were catching on, like when they walked out of the viewing for Irreversible, people's criticism was, hey, this scene felt like it didn't have to be in there. And it was just very traumatizing. And not a pleasurable scene. And yeah, I don't know. Comment below your thoughts on that. But nonetheless, her influence is still continuing even as she ages. Dedicate whole Pinterest boards for her, the fashion, the look that she has, the blowout, because her hair is naturally curly. She always gets it blown out. And the natural makeup look, especially in her youth, was very, very popular, like the makeup, no makeup look, and just a very shy demeanor where she's not shy at all, you know, but she carries herself in a very quiet, powerful way. And women, countless videos here on YouTube doing beauty analysis of her face or fashion analysis on her style and what makes Milena beautiful. There's whole scientific videos, I kid you not. And doing this video, I saw videos scientifically trying to dissect what makes her beautiful. You guys can go look it up if you think I'm joking, but that's her influence, and she's being introduced to a whole new generation that didn't know her. As far as her career, she started at the tender age of 13. She posed for a local photo enthusiast to start her modeling career. Bellucci left the University of Perugia, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either, which is the Faculty of Law, in 1988, and relocated to Milan, one of Europe's fashion hubs, where she signed with Elite Model Management with the help of model agent Piero Piazzi. She was starting to gain recognition as a fashion model in New York City and Paris by 1989. Among other publications, she posed for French Elle and Dolce & Gabbana. Bellucci made the leap to acting in that year and started taking acting classes. She was also featured on the cover and in an essay about the 5 senses of the February 2001 Esquire article on desire. So she has had roles in La Rifa, which was in 1991, and Dracula by Bram Stoker in 1992. She cemented her status as an actress in 1996 when she was nominated for a César Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance as Lisa in The Apartment. And after appearing in the films Irreversible, Brotherhood of the Wolf in 2001, and Milena, which we already did a breakdown for, she gained recognition and popularity among audiences around the world in 2002. Comment below what movie from her was your favorite. She also had a role in The Matrix. At 50, she became the oldest Bond girl ever in the James Bond film franchise, playing Lucia Sciarra Inspector. But she said she is not a Bond girl, she is a Bond woman. Yes, ma'am. 3 years later, she appeared in the Australian film Necrotronic. She also played in The Matrix, like I said, in countless other films, so she definitely stays booked and busy. In 2021, she was honored with Stella Della Mole Award for Artistic Innovation at the 39th Torino Film Festival, considering her lifetime achievements. Now, as far as her relationship, she's very private about that. Monica Bellucci is a secret dream of many men, right? And women all over the world. And of course, she had numerous love affairs, but the star was officially married just twice. Bellucci married Italian photographer Claudio Carlos Basso in 1990, and they divorced after only 18 months. She met French actor Vincent Cassel on the set of their 1996 film, The Apartment. They married in 1999, and they do have 2 gorgeous daughters together. The couple announced their separation on the 26th of August on 2013, and they later divorced. Now, as far as scandals, not too many, but comment below what you think about that. Because my Roman Polanski video was so graphic, I definitely have to redo that video because YouTube found it against the community guidelines. It was so graphic, but he was just, in my opinion, a terrible, terrible man, right? And you guys know his story, who he is. I am working on doing another video for him that's a little less graphic, but still tells you the details. He basically is this Hollywood director who, you know, had his way with young girls, and he said out of his own lips and his own clips that he don't see the problem with liking a girl who's 13 or 12. And he was saying this when he was in his 50s. Out of his own mouth in an interview boldly, and he said it's legal in some countries, so why can't I do it? And he fled from the United States in order to avoid criminal charges, and he's basically like fled to another country, and many starlets still support him. And unfortunately, Monica Bellucci is one of those people that supported him and signed a petition where she basically says, to summarize it, that we should separate the art from the artist and not hold him accountable for his actions and just basically say his art. That did kind of disappoint me, Well, not even kind of. It really, really disappointed me. But then again, in the movie Malena, she did play a role, although she said she was very uncomfortable playing the role because she had to, as a grown woman with a minor boy in the movie who was probably no less than 12 years old or 13. She was in her like 30s, I believe. And they had a kissing scene. She was bare in front of him in the movie, and he touched her tatas in the movie. And like, if you see the movie Malena, it was so like extreme.
Actually, I did an Italian movie called Malena, directed by Giuseppe Tornatore, and the film went all over the world.
It was the critical success of Malena that really catapulted her to fame.
What was the scene? There was a scene in this movie, Malena, that, and you kissed a youngster?
I mean, I felt his heart beating so hard. I thought, my God, he's gonna die.
His heart is
gonna have an heart attack. It was so incredible, and he was so sweet. And
he's how old?
13 years old.
13-year-old actor.
But I was very lucky to work with him because I was really intimidated because sometimes
I think he was. A 13-year-old kid has to kiss you in the scene.
But because it's not very easy to work and make difficult scenes with a young boy like that.
It is cinematography rise and, coming of age story art form. Okay, I love the movie, but I can also call out its problematic nature. And I'm like, well, she was okay with this. So who knows? And Hollywood is all weird. So you can love someone and still have a stable critique. No celebrity is ever going to make me question my morals, or because I love them so much, I'm not going to see reason. I'm not a crazed, fan or anything like that. That just excuse everything like some of these people be doing, But though I love Malena, I am disappointed in that revelation. And she has remained fairly private in her life and doesn't really speak much and has this air of mystery. And I love that about her. So she will continue to attract, many, many people. And from Italy, I do think she is one of those desirable stars from Italy that will go down as an icon. And she doesn't really thirst for American movies like that, though she gets the opportunity and she does it. She bounced back, but she really loved to make more so Italian films. But she has made quite a few French films, speaking French also, which is interesting. I just love how multifaceted she is, and she's always talking about femininity and a dark elegance. She kind of gives me the vibe of an Italian Angelina Jolie, not really Sophia Loren, but of an Italian Angelina Jolie. Comment below. With that being said, does that change your mind about our beautiful Monica Bellucci? What do you guys think? I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Comment below who else would you guys like to see. Until next time.